AI circled this area in red and said, this area has a dangerous pattern. It looks like cancer might come up. 2 years later, there's a cancer right in that same spot.
The best way to fight cancer is through early detection. That's the best weapon we have right now in this war against cancer. Because if you catch it early, you can treat it much easier and much faster to prevent it from ever growing. This is why a lot of researchers and scientists are focusing on detecting cancer as early as possible. A family friend has recently been diagnosed with cancer and they've been given 1 year to live. And this is because this cancer was stage 4. If they catch a cancer at stage 4, you usually have about 10% of less chances of survival. And as a comparison, if they catch a cancer at stage 1, you have 90% or better chances of survival. That's a huge difference. So you can see how detecting cancer as early as possible can mean life or death. So today, we're going to look at the deadliest form of cancer, which is lung cancer. Lung cancer kills more people than any other cancer around the world. 2 million people are diagnosed every year, and in 2021, lung cancer alone took the lives of 1.8 million people. That's a huge number. And it's not just smokers who are affected by lung cancer. It can be caused by DNA mutations, asbestos, or even second-hand smoke. So you can imagine that a lot of researchers are putting all their energy to not only treat lung cancer, but catching it early so that they can treat it easier and prevent all these people who are dying. Because it seems like we detect it when it's too late in most cases.
Most people who get diagnosed with lung cancer unfortunately present with stage 4 metastatic disease because it has spread someplace that is causing them a pain or a symptom.
That's why a lot of people are dying. So how do they detect lung cancer in the first place? Well, you have to get a scan. It can be a CT scan, an X-ray scan, or even an MRI. So after you get that scan, somebody, an expert, has to look at it. It can be a trained oncologist who is just a cancer scientist or a trained radiologist. But this is an expert who can look at a scan and be able to tell whether or not there is cancer on it. And as you can imagine, this requires a lot of skill. If somebody is not skilled enough, they can miss the cancer. It happens all the time, especially if that cancer is still in its early stages. So because this is an expensive test where you need a trained expert and an expensive machine, this is not a test that everybody can take. Most people take it when it's too late, when they already suspect the presence of cancer. This is not something that you can just take in your annual health evaluation. And because of that, a lot of people go untested until it's too late. Now, what if there was a way to detect these tumors from a CT scan without needing an expert or a doctor? Well, this is where artificial intelligence and other computer programs come in. Because of the advancements of machine learning, AI, and all this computing power of new supercomputers, we can use all these models to train AI to recognize cancer from just a single scan. And guess what? Some of these models are performing better than doctors, and some of them are already being used in hospitals. So today, I want to show you 3 groups already working on this, from MIT researchers to Google engineers. We're going to look at what they are doing, how they are doing it, and how accurate these models are at detecting lung cancer. Let's start with these researchers at MIT. They are working with the Center for Innovation in Early Cancer Detection at the Massachusetts General Hospital. This is a team of lung cancer experts, researchers, medical doctors, programmers, basically the Avengers, and they're working together to make a model that can accurately detect cancer in its early stages. And they've developed a model called Sibyl. And Sibyl here is very powerful. It can detect cancer much better than doctors. And not only can it do that, get this, it can tell you with an accuracy of up to 94% whether or not you're gonna have cancer in a year just from a simple CT scan. So it can detect it before you even get the cancer, which is very impressive.
Usually a radiologist is looking for nodules or a mass, but Sibyl has the power to look so closely at a CT scan that it can identify patterns of data associated with cancer even before a tumor appears.
Now, this model is not in use in the hospitals yet, but it's very promising. It has been published in the Journal of Clinical Oncology. I'm going to put a link in the description if you want to read the whole study because it's fascinating. If you're into that kind of stuff, you're going to love it. The second model that I want to talk about is actually FDA approved. This is from a company called Optellum from Oxford in the UK. This company works on different solutions to detect cancer and care for cancer patients. So they've developed a model that can accurately detect lung cancer to the point where that it was approved in the UK and in the USA. In all the models that I'm talking about today, this is the only one that's actually being used in the hospitals, which is amazing. The third case that I want to talk about is actually pretty surprising. It is from Google. They are working on detecting and curing cancer. Google has a whole healthcare division that I didn't know about, but they've been working on a few projects that I think are really promising. And one of them is this one about lung cancer detection using AI. So they've teamed up with different researchers to come up with an AI model to detect lung cancer. And this was published in 2019. And in that model, it outperformed 6 different expert radiologists. And it looks like they've been refining that model. They've published as recent as last month about this model being used to improve lung cancer detection in US and Japan. So they've been busy working on and refining this model. So I can't wait to see this deployed in the hospital because right now it's still in the testing phase. But this is another promising study. Now, these are the 3 examples that I've found of AI being used to detect lung cancer. But let me be clear here. There are so many other researchers and so many other companies working on other solutions to detect cancer as early as possible. We have people looking at different chemicals in the body, different body fluids such as blood or urine, and we also have genetic testing where we look at your genes and we see what are your chances of having a certain cancer. So a lot of people are working on this problem from different angles. And again, we're focusing back on early detection rather than trying to catch cancer when it's too late. We're working on that too. That's what we're doing in my research. But there are so many people now focusing on early detection because we're realizing that this is the best way to fight cancer before it gets worse. But let me know what you think about this one. If you want to know more about cancer and cancer drugs, click right here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.